Welcome to AI ConvoCast, where we bring you the latest in AI and tech innovation. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Let's jump right in.
Today, we will be covering OpenAI's surprise hardware debut with the Codex Micro selling out in under a day, xAI open-sourcing Grok Build after a serious privacy backlash, the EU forcing Google to open Android AI features and search data to rivals, and Cadence launching an agentic AI platform aimed at chip and circuit board design. Let's start with OpenAI, which just released its first branded piece of hardware, and it's probably not what you were expecting. Forget the rumored Johnny Ive consumer device. This is the Codex Micro, a $230 limited edition desktop keypad built in collaboration with Work Louder, aimed squarely at developers using Codex. OpenAI is calling it, quote, your command center for agentic work. It has live RGB feedback that lights up based on active agent chats, plus 32 extra Codex icon keycaps you can swap in. Orders opened on Wednesday, July 15th, and by the next day it had completely sold out, less than 24 hours after going live. The framing here is what's interesting. Axios pointed out that OpenAI is essentially betting the future of developer work isn't chatting with one assistant, it's managing fleets of agents running in parallel, and you need a physical control surface to keep track of them. It's a small sample size, sure, but the fact that a niche $230 keypad sold out that fast suggests power users are already living that reality and want dedicated hardware for it. Next up, xAI open-sourced Grok Build, its coding agent and terminal interface, under the Apache 2.0 license. The company says developers can now inspect exactly how it assembles context, dispatches tool calls, and loads plugins, hooks, MCP servers, and subagents, and you can run the whole thing fully local first with local inference. xAI's pitch, quote, you can read the source to see exactly how it works. But the backstory is the real news. This came after a researcher discovered Grok Build was quietly sending entire code repositories to a company-controlled Google Cloud bucket. In one test, it uploaded 5.1 gigabytes of data for a task that only actually required 192 kilobytes. That's roughly 26,000 times more data than needed being shipped off to xAI's servers. For enterprises, that's a nightmare scenario. Elon Musk responded by saying, quote, as a precautionary measure, all previously uploaded user data would be deleted. The bigger takeaway is that coding agents are hitting an enterprise trust wall. Open source, local first operation, and zero data retention are no longer nice-to-haves or ideological flags. They're becoming baseline requirements before companies will let these tools anywhere near their private code. Moving over to Brussels, the European Commission just dropped a pretty significant order on Google. Under the Digital Markets Act, the Commission issued binding specification measures requiring Google to give rival AI services equal access to the Android features that power Gemini, and separately to share Google search data with third-party search engines. EU Tech Chief Hinna Virkkunen said the goal is enabling, quote, emerging alternatives to Google Search and Google's AI services such as Gemini. In practical terms, this could reshape how AI assistants compete on Android in Europe. If ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, or Mistral can plug into the same Android hooks Gemini uses, the default assistant advantage Google has enjoyed starts to erode. And forcing Google to share the search data only it can collect at scale is a direct attempt to lower the moat around both search and AI-powered search products. Google isn't thrilled, obviously. Kent Walker, Google's top lawyer, pushed back and argued the rules could actually backfire by weakening privacy safeguards, including the vetting Google does on third-party assistants before granting them deep system access. So the tension is real. Regulators want competition. Google says opening the doors this wide creates security risks, and users in Europe are going to find out which side was right. Finally, Cadence, the big electronic design automation company, launched something called AuraStack, which it's billing as an AI super agent for printed circuit board and advanced chip packaging design. It runs on Cadence's Allegro AI Studio and is accelerated by NVIDIA's Blackwell chips and CUDA-X. The idea is that engineers can describe their goals in plain language, and AuraStack coordinates a bunch of specialized subagents across planning, constraints, physical implementation, manufacturability, and multi-physics analysis, then executes the work using Cadence's existing tools. The stakes here are big because this is agentic AI leaving the code editor and moving into physical hardware engineering. PCB and package design cycles directly affect how fast new AI accelerators, data center systems, robotics, and automotive electronics can ship. Cadence is claiming up to 2 times faster time to market and 15 times productivity gains on individual tasks. Early users reportedly include NVIDIA, TSMC, and Schneider Electric, which is a serious lineup, and customers can pair AuraStack with OpenAI, Gemini, Claude, or open-source models depending on preference. Cadence's Michael Jackson summed up the thesis to Reuters like this, quote, "The bottleneck isn't automation, it's really engineering intelligence." The bet is that agents can now supply some of that intelligence, and if that pans out, it could quietly accelerate the next generation of AI hardware itself.
Thank you for listening to AI Convo Cast. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Thanks and hope to see you again next time.